All right, guys, we're starting a new unit on life science, and this is kind of, we're going to talk about the phenomena or the man lifting the car. So make sure before you're watching this video, make sure that you have watched the video in the link. You need to make sure you watch the man lifts the car. Then you're going to do this discussion after that. But I do want to, if you're at home, I do want to go through the flow chart that we're going to draw. So please draw this in your notebook. So in the video, there's a man that ends up lifting a car off of a child because the car is on top of the child. You've probably seen similar videos to this in the past where people have superhuman strength doing a certain thing. You've probably seen that on the news once or twice. So I did want to fill out this flow chart with you, kind of talk through it with you so you're able to fill out the discussion and kind of know what's going on. We are going to do this in class, so if you are here when we do this, you'll draw it with us, but if you're at home, you can copy this into your notebook. So we're talking about how systems work together. So our body is made up of lots of different systems that have to work together to carry out a certain action. So our body's constantly pumping blood through our body, carrying oxygen with that blood. Our brain, our nervous system is constantly sending images, sounds to our brain so we can take in those signals and process a result. So we're going to talk about how this man is able to have this superhuman strength. Okay, so right here, when we talked about something being alive, we talked about responding to stimulus or responding to something external from your external environment. So in this case, the man is going to see the child under the car. This is going to be our stimulus, and the man's going to create a response from that. So the first thing that happens, the man sees a child under the car. That image is going to go to that man's brain, which is part of our nervous system. So our brain and spinal cord are part of our nervous system. So that's what we're going to put in this box. So we have our stimulus. That stimulus goes to the brain, to the nervous system. And it's going to signal these three different systems, okay, that we're going to talk about. First one it's going to signal is a cardiovascular. Okay, and if you know anything about the word like cardio, think of it meaning like heart. So basically our heart and how it pumps the blood faster or slower. So cardiovascular system is the first one. Then the next one, the respiratory system. So our respiratory system helps with our breathing. It increases it, it decreases it when it needs to in order to pump the right amount of oxygen to our body. And then the last one is the endocrine system. Our endocrine system is responsible for sending hormones throughout our body to create different responses. In this case, the hormone that we're going to be talking about is adrenaline. You've probably heard that a couple times in your life. So I'm going to kind of go through these ones, and then we're going to figure out what system is responsible for our response. So the man sees a child under the car. That's our stimulus. That's what we're going to make a response to. He sees that it goes to his brain, the nervous system. He quickly thinks, I need to get this child out from under this car. Okay, so that nervous system is going to send signals to the cardiovascular system, the respiratory system, and the endocrine system in order to create that response. So the cardiovascular system, the heart's going to speed up, okay, because it needs to pump more oxygen, and it also needs to pump more hormones through the body. So the cardiovascular system is going to speed up. Our respiratory system, we're going to need more oxygen to our muscles, getting throughout our body, so that blood needs to be pumping more and more and more from our cardiovascular system to move those things through our body. In this case, with the respiratory system, we need more and more oxygen. In the endocrine system, I said that's our hormones. In this case, we're talking about adrenaline. Adrenaline is kind of that fight or flight hormone. So you're either in a situation, you're either going to fight or you're going to flight. You're going to run away. Okay, so in this case, the man is going to, his brain's going to tell him to fight. Okay, so that adrenaline also needs to be pumped through the body from the cardiovascular system. So that adrenaline is being pumped through the body, through the blood, by our cardiovascular system, and the fact that it has increased. All right, so those three systems are working together with the nervous system at this point, and they're going to create a response for us. So our signal is sent to our muscular system. Okay, now the muscular system we know is responsible for movement and allowing us to move. Okay, so our response, the end result, is going to be the man lifting the car off of the child. Okay, so that was a response that happened because all of these systems were working together. Okay, so one more time I'll kind of go through this whole thing. So our man sees the child under the car. That's our stimulus. That's what our body's going to create a response to. In this case, the man is going to have a response. Okay, he sees that child under the car. That image goes to his nervous system, goes to his brain. Okay, the nervous system is going to send out signals to the cardiovascular system, which is our heart, respiratory system, which is our lungs, basically responsible for our breathing, and then our endocrine system, which I said is responsible for sending hormones through our body. So when the nervous system sends out this signal, it sends a signal to the lungs saying we need to breathe more, we need more oxygen. The endocrine system says we need to make this adrenaline so we can make this happen. And those two things need to be spread throughout the body very quickly. So the cardiovascular system, or the heart rate, is definitely going to go up a lot to make sure that happens. Then that signal is sent to the muscular system, sent to our muscles, saying we need to lift this car. So with the increased heart rate, the increased respiration rate, and the increased adrenaline, the man is able to lift the car off of that child.